The episode starts with Spider-Man sleeping after a hard day of beating up villains and saving New York again. His alarm blares in the morning, and he almost doesn't wake up if it wasn't for Nova's cry for help through his shield watch. Spider-Man suits up quickly and goes to save Nova, only to trip on the snow outside and find the whole shield team laughing at him because it was a prank. Spider-Man is not amused, but the team show him a message from Agent Coulson and inform him that they were not here only to prank him, but that they have extra mandatory team training since the school gets a day off. They get on the jet and actually travel to some tropical paradise. Everyone wears their swimsuits and gets ready for a day at the beach. Nova actually punched in some coordinates against S.H.I.E.L.D.'s wishes, and they all talk about how they will get in trouble for taking vacation instead of actually training somewhere, but they don't care that much. They go on to enjoy their beach day in the water, as we see Sandman stalking them from the distance. Peter gets his spidey senses tingling, but brushes it off immediately. They enjoy their time even further by building sandcastles and enjoying the beauty of the beach, but Peter's spidey senses are still tingling. He stops the fun to question this, but his teammates help him brush it off once again so they could play some beach volleyball. The ball gets thrown away and into the forest, so Peter goes to get it, but suddenly the winds get stronger and all the vegetation shakes. Then Peter gets jump scared by Sandman. He goes back to the group to try to tell them about what he saw, but then a small kid comes out of the forest with the volleyball and asks to join their game. White Tiger asks him what he was doing on a deserted island, and the kid tells her that his family is everywhere in the creepiest way possible. He then runs to the forest to play hide and seek with them, and the team gets bad vibes and want to go back home, but they force themselves to stay and save the deserted kid. The team suits up and starts looking for the kid that appears everywhere, but nowhere at the same time. Sandman then shows up as an adult and surprises the team. He makes up a story that the kid is his brother and he likes to play hide and seek. Spider-Man thinks they can go now, since another adult is here, but Sandman stops them and tries to get them to continue the game. He shows them some ruins to look for the kid and then disappears into the sand without no one noticing, except for Spidey. The team runs away anyway, and they immediately get confronted by the kid, who leaves nothing to mystery as he berates them for lying about playing with him. Right before he dissipates into the sand and attacks their jet, he takes their ship to the top of the ancient ruins and calls for them to go and get it. The kid then starts attacking them with his sand morphing abilities. He manages to overpower the whole team and spread them apart before constructing a maze for them to go through. Sandman finally shows up in his adult form, that also happens to be gigantic, and starts running after Spider-Man and Luke Cage for threatening to not play the game. The pair then stumble onto some kind of paintings on the wall while hiding from Sandman. The paintings describe the origin of how Sandman came to be and how Nick Fury had a hand in it, because of course he did. The team manages to break out of the maze and regroup. They talk about the paintings on the wall before Sandman shows up again and starts attacking them for not playing nice with him. They rush to the jet while dodging all the obstacles Sandman has put in front of them. The team manages to get on the jet and fly away from the island, even with Sandman consuming the whole island and almost reaching them in the air. The team is close to New York and almost sneaks the jet back to S.H.I.E.L.D., but Fury noticed their little trip, and he sent a couple of jets to escort them for a full scrub down, because if they touch the ground and Sandman is with them, he is going to destroy New York. Spider-Man tries to reassure Fury that they just have some sand in their costumes, but as they empty it on the ship, it is revealed to be Sandman all along. He attacks the jet and destroys the control to crash the jet. Spider-Man uses his powers to try to steer the jet to crash in the river. Sandman crashes out of the jet and starts walking to the city as the whole team tries to stop them using their powers. Spider-Man gets an idea to let Nova go all out on Sandman and turn him into Glass Man. The next episode starts with a villain group by the name of the Wrecking Crew, causing mayhem in the middle of New York. We have Bulldozer, Piledriver, Thunderball, and the Wrecker. The Spider-Man S.H.I.E.L.D. team shows up to try and stop them. The Wrecking Crew decide to disrespect the S.H.I.E.L.D. team by completely ignoring their presence and destroying a bunch of buildings and public transit. Spider-Man and the team do their best to save the civilians who are still in the vicinity of the destruction. The Wrecking Crew suddenly regroup, say their goodbyes to the team in the smuggest way possible, then immediately disappear without a trace. They left the whole place a complete mess. And if that wasn't enough, Nick Fury shows up and starts berating the team for letting the villains cause this much damage. Spider-Man retorts, stating how the Wrecking Crew were just destroying things and didn't even steal any money from the nearby bank. Fury tells them if they have a theory to prove, then they better investigate while undercover. They think it is going to be cool and awesome to do all of that, but Fury prepares the most suitable undercover to punish the team. Now they are no longer heroes for the mission. They will work for a S.H.I.E.L.D.-sanctioned company called Damage Control that helps rebuild places trashed by villains. The team is forced to clean up their mess while dressed in their costumes, and it is extra humiliating for Spidey because J. Jonah Jameson is keeping an eye on him doing the work by sending the TV crew to film him. Spider-Man is tired and humiliated, but he finds a gun that that shrinks all the debris and uses it to save some time. Nova then startles Spidey while he is working, and he gets zapped by the gun and shrinks in size. They move on, however, and their boss tells them to not enter the unstable building beside the bank. Spidey thinks it is suspicious, so he enters the building and begins investigating. He finds a hold that leads to the empty bank vault. The team catches Spidey, and he begins explaining his theory about the damage control boss being in on it, since they never saw the wrecking crew actually take any money. Suddenly, the building falls with them inside, but they manage to escape at the last second. Fury shows up to berate them some more, and Spidey tries to tell him about their theory, but the damage control boss, Mac, shows up and distracts Fury. Spider-Man decides to investigate at night and all alone, since his team does not subscribe to his conspiracy theories about damage control. He goes to the damage control HQ and infiltrates the place looking for Mac's office. Spider-Man manages to dodge most of the security measures, but as soon as he enters Mac's office, he gets attacked by several machine guns and lasers. Spidey manages to dodge all of this, and the cleanup robots cover any evidence of a break-in. Spider-Man doesn't find anything incriminating on Mac. Mini Nova shows up as well because he kind of believed in the theory, but also wants to make sure Spidey doesn't mess more shit up. They go to the roof and find a hidden stash with all the money from the bank. Spidey thinks they got the evidence now, but the wrecking crew show up in their damage control outfits to stop Spidey before he ruins their plans. Spider-Man realizes that the wrecking crew was behind everything and was actually undercover the whole time. They fight, and the wrecking crew almost gets one up on Spider-Man, but the rest of the SHIELD team shows up to help him. They manage to defeat them using teamwork, and Mac from damage control comes out to finish the job and sweep the villains back to the heroes before they escape. Spider-Man apologizes to Mac for infiltrating his office and being suspicious of him. Fury then praises them and tells them that they are back to being SHIELD heroes again. Kind of an enjoyable 2 episodes we have here. The most notable one was the one with Sandman. He looked great and actually posed a threat. I kind of hope to see him once again and actually challenge Spidey. I am not sure about the show not going through Spider-Man's catalog of villains, and when they do, they give them origin stories and motivations away from Spider-Man. I hope this gets reassessed in the future. This brings us to the end of today's video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel to get more videos like this one. Your support helps us grow. And tell me, what do you think of these 2 episodes? Who do you think is stronger, this Sandman, or the version from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies? Let me know in the comments below. I read all of them. And if you're watching till now, thank you. I'll see you in another video soon.